New organizations are facing challenges, when it comes to performance and improvements. And I was just curious about what trends that you see through your consulting business that are impacting HR and talent acquisition, and what organizations should be doing to adapt and thrive in the new environment.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing this is a 7-hour podcast, so I can give you the appropriate level of nuance and depth to that question. Since it's not, I'll try to abbreviate. I think when you zoom out initially at the industry, the highs and lows that the field of HR has been through since 2020 have been pretty dramatic, right? The early days of the pandemic, and it wasn't just the pandemic, it was the reckoning with social justice, it was political toxicity around the world, it was so many other things that were taking place, the shift to remote work, different conversations around mental health, and the struggle and support that employees needed, and frankly we needed in the field. Then you ride that into the period of the Great Resignation, and the job market for HR was on fire. People were, you couldn't hire HR people and recruiting people quickly enough or at all. The demand was through the roof, levels we've never seen before. And now we're in this new period, especially in tech, where we've had a lot of layoffs. And if you look at the numbers behind the layoffs since 2022, HR and talent tops the teams and functions that have been impacted by the layoffs. And, right now, the layoffs are largely localized to tech, and even more specifically, largely localized to the U.S. About 98% of the layoffs that we've seen since 2022 have been centered in the U.S. So, this isn't a widespread global phenomenon yet. I think it's a lot of U.S. tech companies, right-sizing some of their issues around overhiring and some of the mistakes perhaps they made there. Mm-hmm. I think when you look at how we need to adapt to that in the field, we have to plan for the VUCA times that we're in. Like, we're not going to be in stable times, quote unquote stable times, anytime soon. So we have to prepare for that. We have to be more agile in our approaches. We have to have more kind of shorter timelines that we're operating on in terms of how we think about the work that we're doing. And to me, the two most important things we have to be focused on are learning agility and network equity. If we're focused on those two things as individuals, then I think we're going to be all right. But it's never been more important for us to build our network, and it's never been more important for us to continue to learn and adapt to all these external circumstances around us.